Hello everyone, how you doing? Welcome back. I hope you're all doing well and you've had a fantastic week this week. I'm Lindsay, your host of the Heavy Metal Journal and writer for the Moshville Times. And today I am back with New Metal Monday, where I talk about my favourite new releases of the week. And today I have 6 brand new albums that I want to talk about. Huge names dropped albums this week, but amongst those huge names, there's a couple of hidden gems that shouldn't be forgotten about either. So let's jump straight into these. Okay, so starting off the list strong this week, I have Sodom with The Arsonist. And this is the 17th studio album from the German thrash metal legends. Now, I love my thrash metal that has a darker, heavier sound to it, and that is exactly what you get with this band. Now, even though Tom Angel Ripper has often been compared to the likes of Lemmy and Tom Araya of Slayer when it comes to his vocal style, he makes it his own. Yes, there are similarities, but at the same time, it's very distinctively him. Now, once again, thematically, this album is all about war scenarios, and that's really reflected well in the music. So, for example, the drum style is very machine gun-like, and it has this rapid pace to it. Now, what I really liked about this album is the fact that it goes between blistering speed, so it's in-your-face thrash metal, but you've also got the more artistic groove, stompy, mid-tempo side of things as well, and it really balances out the album. But one thing that's for certain throughout this entire album is how electrifying it is. It has this muscular presence and it's just full of energy. So if you are a fan of the heavier side and the darker side of thrash metal, such as Destruction, Creator and Slayer, you're definitely going to want to get onto this. I absolutely loved this. It's incredible thrash metal with lots of really cool war scenario themes. Definitely check this one out. Okay, so next up on my list I have Shadow of Intent with Imperium Delirium, and this is the 5th studio album from the symphonic melodic deathcore band from the US. Now, when I say that this album completely blew me away, I completely melted when I listened to this album. This is incredible. This album is massive production-wise, so you do have all of your deathcore elements, you've got your melodic death metal element, and these huge, swelling symphonic moments which are incredibly evil and ominous, and it just pulverizes you second after second from beginning to end. But they make it incredibly addictive whilst they do so. Huge breakdowns. The breakdowns in this are annihilating. They are ridiculous. They stopped me in my tracks when I was listening to this album. The solos are screaming, intense riffs. The blast beats are amazing, chugging bass lines, and it's just incredibly heavy, but so ridiculously addictive and catchy at the same time. The orchestration and the symphonics in this are beautiful, but they are dramatic. They're massive and they're really evil sounding. The vocals play around with a lot of guttural growls and roars with quite a lot of goblin-like screams and rasps thrown in as well. But whilst I'm on the subject of vocals, Corpse Grinder from Cannibal Corpse also provides guest vocals on one of the tracks too. It's evil, it's destructive, and it's insanely catchy. The keyboard elements, the synths, and the orchestration create this dramatic, muscular presence. So if you are a fan of the likes of Winds of Plague, Make Them Suffer, Lorna Shore, definitely get onto this one. I absolutely loved it. Check it out. Okay, so next up on my list, I have Heaven Shall Burn with Heimat. And this is the 10th studio album from the melodic death metalcore band from Germany. This is an impressively stunning work of art. From the moment I pressed play on this album, it completely hooked me in and it did not let go until it finished. This is incredible. You have all of these captivating, dense yet harsh melodies. The guitars are screaming. The riffs are intricate but incredibly beautiful, but very, very harsh. The blast beats in this are insane, chugging bass lines and guttural growls which are incredibly powerful and emotive. Now, even though this is an incredibly aggressive record, it's very catchy and it's very heavy on the melodics. Now, the band have once again collaborated with the Modena Quartet to create that string instrument orchestration, and they've also collaborated with the Ukrainian Sofia Chamber Choir to create this very dramatic and haunting atmosphere. Plus, that album artwork is absolutely stunning as well. So if you are a fan of the likes of Unearth, the Black Dahlia Murder with a little bit of early In Flames, you're definitely going to want to get onto this, but I absolutely loved this. The orchestration, the choir and the synth elements are well placed and they weave in and out all of that melodic death metal and the metalcore elements. definitely check this one out. I loved this one. Okay, so next up on my list, I have In Demon with Reclaiming Chaos, and this is the debut album from the death thrash metal band from Finland. This is frantic, energetic, punch you straight in the face thrash metal with a lot of elements of death metal and a little bit of groove metal thrown into the mix too. Now, just like I mentioned with the Sodom album, I like my thrash metal to be on the darker, heavier side, and that's exactly what you get with this. Crunchy guitars, rapid drums, this album just screams intensity, but has plenty of catchy hooks and a pulverizing presence. But on top of that, they incorporate a lot of the Scandinavian kind of style of death metal, which really makes this album stand out from the crowd. This is no nonsense, no filler, 32 minutes of pure death thrash metal, and I absolutely loved this one. As a debut record, this is definitely a force to be reckoned with. So if you are a fan of the likes of Cataclysm, Paganizer, or Disparaged, you're definitely going to want to get onto this one. Loved every minute of this. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It's straight to the point, a lot of catchy hooks, brutal death metal, thrash metal with a little bit of groove. Definitely check this one out. Okay, so next up on my list, I have The Bleak Picture with Shades of Life. And this is the second studio album from the melodic death doom metal duo from Finland. This is moody, it's gloomy, and it's just full of that epic, melancholic death doom metal stuff that I love so much. I am a huge fan of melodic death doom. The gloomier and the gothic the better, but it has to maintain that very heavy death metal style as well. This album grips you by the soul and does not let go. There's a huge, haunting, atmospheric presence about this. It's very melancholic and bleak, quite like the name of the band, but it's also incredibly stunning and mysterious. By equal measures, beautiful and incredibly heavy. The guitar tone in this is crushing, and it's also very dense on the melodics. Vocally, it is primarily these death growls, but you also have haunting whispers and spoken word moments just to break it up a little bit, and that really adds to the haunting atmosphere of the album. Commanding drums, beautiful guitars, crushing bass lines with a lot of really cool ethereal synths and keyboards thrown into the mix. This album is beautiful. So if you are a fan of the likes of Insomnium, Catatonia, My Dying Bride with a little bit of Paradise Lost thrown into the mix, this one is definitely for you. But if you like your melodic death doom metal, which is incredibly heavy, captivating with its melodics, but it has this very gloomy kind of bleak edge to it, this one is definitely for you. Check it out. Okay, so last up on my list, but certainly by no means least, I have Anlier with Acapellith. And this is the second studio album from the epic symphonic black metal duo from the US. Strap yourself in with this album because this one is not for the faint of heart. Not only is it atmospheric, melodic black metal with a lot of symphonics and orchestration, and when I say a lot, I mean a lot. This is on the scale of a grand symphony, of an opera. This is intensely atmospheric and incredibly grand and opulent. But not only that, the subject material is all about Tolkien's work. Yes, we're going back to Middle-earth for an epic fantasy adventure with atmospheric, melodic black metal thrown into the mix. So according to their Bandcamp page, what they want you to do was they want you to take the subject material from Tolkien, which is incredibly layered and detailed as it is, and translate that into a melodic black metal record. A couple of other bands have done this before, right? But what makes this different is the sheer level of orchestration in this. They haven't followed the normal song structure when it comes to writing and recording this album. They've done it in such a way where it's presented as a classic symphony. This is incredibly operatic and just incredibly opulent and grandiose. This is massive. Now, the album itself is just over an hour long, but there's only 4 tracks on the album, so each track spans roughly somewhere between 17 and 20 minutes long each. So when you condense all of that orchestration and the symphonics of an opera or a classic symphony, and then you add that into your melodic black metal, you really get something special. Plus, it's an extra bonus because it's all about Middle-earth. I love Tolkien's work, absolutely loved everything about it. I was very excited when I saw that this was going to be the theme for the album, Did not quite expect it to be as grandiose and opulent, and I loved it. It is so dramatic. So if you are a fan of the likes of Emperor or the previous Skyborn Reveries or Veldra Surma albums that I recommended a couple of weeks ago, you're definitely going to want to get onto this. But when I say this is grand and opulent, but brutally heavy and evil sounding, with a lot of mesmerizing, mysterious aspects to it, I mean it. This one is definitely for you, but make sure you have an hour and 10 minutes of your time scheduled free without any other distractions whatsoever. Highly recommend that you listen to this with a full set of headphones on to really absorb the various different levels of this album. Definitely check it out. Loved every single minute of this. And that's it for this week's New Metal Monday. Once again, comment down below to let me know what you think of today's records. And if you have any of your own recommendations, please let me know and I will get them added to my list. If you follow Spotify, make sure to check out the description box below because I have included a Spotify playlist which features every single album that I talk about on my New Metal Monday videos. So make sure to follow that because I update that every single Monday as soon as one of these videos goes live. Unlike last week when I forgot and a couple of you had to remind me. So I do appreciate that, guys. Thank you very much. If you want to follow me on social media, feel free to do so. All of my handles are in the description box below as well, where I am usually a lot more active. Stay safe, everybody. I hope you have a fantastic week. Thank you all so much for your support. I appreciate you all as always, and I will see you very soon in my next video.